What's going on, Soul Fam, and welcome to Mira D Tarot. I'm Mira D here today with your new moon in Taurus reading for May the 11th of 2021. To all of my new subscribers, thank you so much for being here. To all of my old subscribers, thank you so much for your support. And to anyone who's new to this channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below for new moon and full moon readings and occasional other stuff. All right, so let's get right into it. Taurus, new moon. So as we know, new moons are all about new beginnings, how we're showing up in the world, how we're choosing to start to show up in the world. And then Taurus is all about grounding. It's about the physical. So how are we showing up in the physical world? That's what we got coming up now. I know that a lot of us, especially people watching this channel, are very much into the spiritual aspects of things. So, we're into the stars, and we're into the spiritual growth and the meditation and stuff. But we have to remember that we are also physical beings having a human experience here on this planet. We're spiritual beings having a human physical experience. And so we have to make sure that while we're out in the realms and while we're out here in the spirit world and stuff like that, that we're spending just as much time making that happen here in the physical world. So the Taurus new moon says, what do you want to bring into the physical world? How do you want to show up in the physical world? This is also about how you treat yourself. And so a lot of this is going to be about self-care. It's going to be about recognizing what areas you can start to care for yourself better in and enjoy the luxuries of the physical world. Y'all, I'm talking about finances. I'm talking about good, delicious, fine food, nice clothes, just the physical things. And we forget so much about that, though. We've learned a lot about money being the root of all evil, and how it's vain to do all these physical things. But we have to take care of ourselves on every level, y'all. And when we're taking care of ourselves internally, we have to look at how that's manifesting in the physical, the external as well. And so today, the new moon is really going to bring us into a place of recognizing those physical things. And so for a lot of us, this may show up as new job opportunities, new business opportunities, because a lot of us, with the way that things are shifting, are pretty much done working for other people. We're done making money for the big machine, and we're more stepping into our own service and how we want to share things and bring things out into the world, how we want to introduce and help others heal, not just energetically but physically as well. Okay, and so we are just stepping into ourselves. So as far as Taurus goes and everything, with this new moon, something I would suggest is really taking this time to celebrate again the physical you. So this time with the Taurus new moon, I would suggest doing a nice deep salt bath with some herbs and things like that. If you do need me to make you a kit, I definitely make kits as well for spiritual baths as well. I'll post the link down below, or post my information down below. I forgot that I shut things down for a little bit as far as my website goes. So aside from that, what else do we have going on? We have Pluto in retrograde. And so Pluto retrograde, y'all, this is a big time for transformations. So how does this relate to the new moon? So Pluto in retrograde, a lot of people are really scared of retrogrades. A lot of people are really not not really understanding what a retrograde is. And so retrograde basically give us the opportunity to focus on the self and to go within. And that's in some of the cases. In other cases, when Saturn goes into retrograde at the end of May, this is pretty much obstacles moving out of the way. So we have to do our research, look a little bit deeper into retrogrades and stop following the mainstream, because all of these energies are here to assist us in our growth. All of these energies are here to move us forward in our evolution. And so if we are able to recognize and understand what the purpose of these energies are, we can use them to benefit ourselves, and we can use them in accordance with what works best for us. Okay, so the whole point of anything here is so that we can flourish and we can grow, and so that's what the energies are here for. So Pluto retrograde, Pluto is the planet of death, rebirth, destruction. It is ruled by Scorpio. We have had a lot of Scorpio energy showing up for us, which means, guess what, y'all? It's time for transformation. It's time for internal transformation. We just had the full moon pass with Scorpio, which I know that tore a lot of people a whole new butthole. But we are at a place where we are excuse me, I'm getting over a cold. But we are at a place where we are internally transforming. So who you're becoming may not have very much resemblance to who you've been. And so a lot of us, this can be really scary having to let that go, because as humans, we build identities with things. We identify with the things we do, the people we hang out with, the habits we have. However, something that you start to notice as you shift and change in this lifetime is that those things are not who you are, and there's a you beyond that is ever expansive and ever growing and ever shifting and ever changing, and you are capable of becoming so many different things. And so what we have going on, like the full moon, I didn't drop a video about that, but the full moon was basically about that internal transformation. And so following up with this Pluto retrograde is definitely going deeper into that transformation. And the Pluto retrograde started on April the 27th. And so that being said, it can be difficult for a lot of us when these placements come up, because we are basically giving birth to a new version of ourselves. And if you think about the birthing process, there's nothing pretty about it. It's painful. It's exhausting. It feels like the mom is going to die. Like she's putting all of her energy into it. And so when you're giving birth to your new self, like with anything else, don't expect it to be easy. That's just not the way nature flows. But the easiest thing you can do, what does a mother do when she's giving birth? She takes deep breaths. She breathes in, she breathes out. She focuses, she allows, she doesn't try to hold it back, And so when you allow, some people do, but it makes it easier when you just allow and let things take their course and trust that they're going to lead you into a version of yourself that is so far beyond what you could have imagined. So with the Taurus new moon, I would say that the best thing to do is to set intentions on how you want to bring things into the physical world. A lot of us have been doing shadow work as well, but we have to remember that while we're shadow working and we're freeing up all this energy, we need to also make sure that we're creating on the physical plane and bringing this energy into something that is here, something that is tangible, something that can be useful not just to ourselves but to the collective and to others as well. So yeah, basically deciding how you want to show up and enjoying all the fancy fine things in life. So as you give birth to your new self, just give yourself grace, allow yourself to be open to who you might become next. Be open to the fact that there are going to be a lot of things that can't show up with you in this next form, and be understanding of the fact that it doesn't have to be a negative thing. It doesn't have to be a thing where it's like, dramatic, or where there's like a lot of anger. Sometimes we use anger as our way to justify moving forward from something, but we're past that phase, y'all. We can just move forward from something and recognize that it doesn't serve who we're becoming. And so if you're having trouble letting those things go, ask yourself, really sit back and ask yourself, is this person or this thing really worth you holding back from becoming more? And who knows, sometimes these things come back around, sometimes they don't. But as the motivational speaker Kyle C says, he says that we are fearful of letting things go because we can see what we're losing, but we can't see what we're gaining. So take a chance, take a leap of faith. And really the biggest thing this year is trust. Something else I wanted to say about this Taurus new moon too is that this year is the year of seeing miracles happen. Like, this is the year of the unexpected. And so there's no way that we can pre-plan or like foresee what's coming up for us, and so when we step back and we allow ourselves to trust, we allow things to show up in ways that are completely unexpected. So the Taurus new moon is also going to bring a lot of really unexpected blessings when it comes to the physical world as well. So this could be unexpected things when it comes to finances. Again, unexpected opportunities, unexpected meetings, like, running into people. And this could also even show up as like, unexpected gifts, or in also some cases, unexpected relationships that deal with more of the physical realm. And so that's all I have to say as far as all that goes. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the tarot aspect of this. So hang tight. All right, soul fam. So we're going to go ahead and get into the tarot aspect of this. Today I'm reading with the Thoth deck based on ancient Egyptian magic and Hermetic principles. It's a fantastic deck. It took me a long time to get to reading with it, but now that I have, it has opened up many, many doors for me. So, all right. So we're going to do what we're releasing, what we're bringing in, and how to sustain that. I'm keeping it real short and simple, real sweet. let's see. I really hope that Scorpio moon treated everybody well and that y'all are recovering from it. Scorpio placements can be intense, but they're really meant to bring us to a place with ourselves where we are forced to make the changes that we've been resisting. So that's why they can be difficult. And so Scorpio is the most misunderstood sign of the zodiac because it can come off harsh and take us into places that we don't necessarily consciously want to go. So like there's that. So yeah, I hope everybody's recovering well. If you guys have any questions, feel free to email me, message me about whatever is going on. Okay, so here we go. So Taurus moon, what are we releasing? Ooh, the High Priestess. We're releasing control. The High Priestess comes up to tell us to stop trying to poke things, prod things, force things, make things happen. The High Priestess says that, the universe has got this, that there is stuff coming up that you can't really understand. And how many times have you tried to plan something or guess something and it comes out completely different? And then what happens? A lot of times we're disappointed, but then later on down the line, we find that we got exactly what we asked for, exactly what we were looking for or needed, but it didn't show up in the form that we were expecting. And so the universe is a creative place, y'all. And so when the universe creates, nothing ever shows up the same way twice. You know what I'm saying? So when your blessings are coming up and things like that, stay open, allow, ask, and then allow. So the Priestess says that we're letting go of control, because the more you poke, the more you prod, the more you try to force things onto a certain path, guess what? The further away from that thing you get. The further away from that thing you get. The Priestess says, as you can see, she's pulling things into existence in ways that we can't even really begin to understand. And so she's pulling the strings of life, the strings of the divine feminine, the strings of the universe. And so just let yourself be. Like, as I've said before, y'all, the sun in millions of years has never forgotten to rise. The spring has never forgotten to come. Your next breath has never forgotten to come. There is a force that is here that wants us to be alive. There's a force that's here that doesn't need us to intervene when we're asking for things. Now, there are times where we do need to work and grind and push toward things and get things in place. But this is not one of those times. This is the time to let go of control, because the more you let go of control and the more you step into the arena of trust, the more you're going to see things show up in really unexpected ways. The more you're going to see life open up for you. When we're trying to control, it's it's a contracting energy, versus when we're allowing, it's an expansive energy. It lets things in that we probably wouldn't normally be able to perceive with our finite minds. And so open yourself up to the infinite possibilities. As I said, this year is the year of miracles. The Priestess has a lot of unexpected stuff showing up for you. So just let go. And that might sound hard and you might feel like you're going to die if you let go, but that is the ego, and that's okay. Let yourself feel like you're going to die if you release control, and watch yourself still sit around and be alive after that and be like, oh, okay, I didn't die. And then you'll see things start to open up. Another thing that I've been hearing a lot of people say is I have to find a way to. No, don't find a way to do anything. Just accept where you are. When it comes to letting go, you can't change the mind with the mind. You can't talk yourself out of overthinking. You can't talk yourself out of trying to control. You just have to accept at that moment, okay, this is what it is, and kind of just be there with it. And then it'll start to fade on its own, so you can't try to force it. If you try to force it, it's going to fight back. And when it fights back, it's going to bring you into a place of anxiety, because it's the complete opposite of allowing. So the Priestess says, just take a couple deep breaths. She also warns to, or advises, not warns, for you to pay attention to your dreams and your intuition. It's a time to kind of let go of the logic of things, y'all. And so, not to say that logic doesn't have its place, but it is to say that we need to make sure that we're opening more up to our intuition and things like that. Especially, and I know it sounds contradictory when we're building in the physical world, but how you're going to flourish in the physical world is by allowing, is by getting out of the way of your own stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that's how your opportunities are going to show up. And so, Yeah. And so using your intuition to know what steps to take next, opening yourself up so that you can receive things in the physical world and know how to create and what to create in the physical world is the way that we're going with this. So the priestess says, get out of your own way. Don't try to change the mind. You can change the mind with the heart, or you can just accept where you are right now and just be okay with that. And it'll start to dissipate on its own. What are we bringing in? Oh, we got the Nine of Discs, which is a fantastic card that you want to see on a Taurus new moon, because the Nine of Discs is like your Beyonce card. This is your strong, independent, I got everything I need, I don't need nobody else type of card. Doesn't mean you won't want other people around. Doesn't mean that community is not important. But this is a card of having self-sufficiency and being so set and okay with where you are that like you don't necessarily want or need other people or things around. This is financial abundance. This is you having financially, not just abundance, but financial stability, and so this is also on an internal aspect, because on the external, things show up in the external when we're feeling them internally. So a lot of the transformation that you may have experienced or that you may be experiencing with this Pluto placement, you are coming to a place where you feel calm and settled and centered inside. And so what we're bringing in is this understanding that we're okay, this understanding that we're always taken care of, this understanding that we're provided for, and the understanding of our internal value as a soul, versus trying to validate ourselves externally. And what you're going to find is that the more this feeling shows up for you of being okay, the more the physical realm is going to start to bring you the gifts that continue to build support and stability around you. This is, again, finances. This is business wise. These are people that you're going to meet that you run into and bring you the the gifts of opportunity and things like that. And so this card is one of the best cards that you want to see, because again, it is in the physical realm. So just take some time and take a deep breath. What I would also suggest is using this time to just enjoy life, using this time to enjoy where you are. If you are always looking for more, then you're going to always feel like you don't have enough. And so the thing is to be content with where you are. And this doesn't mean don't strive for more. This doesn't mean don't hope for expansion and growth and evolution in all aspects: financial, physical, mental, like spiritual, like emotional. No, this means that, but this means that in order to reach those phases and to enjoy the gifts of what you've worked for, you have to be okay with the fact that what you have right now is enough. The fact that having a roof over your head, or having even just a little bit of money in your bank account, or having whatever it is that you got going for yourself or whatnot, having fresh breath, fresh air, or decent food, just understanding that you are alive and you're making it right now, and that's okay. And that opens you up for more. Okay. If we chase, we'll never be able to enjoy what it is that we're trying to bring in and create, y'all. So we have to be grateful. So I would recommend practicing gratitude. 3 simple things in the morning that you're grateful for, and it's going to open up so much space in your life. These little simple things are our gifts and our birthrights, y'all. So if we just allow ourselves to utilize what we've been given, we understand that life isn't as hard as we've been told it is, and it's not made to be extremely difficult. There are difficult points, but we're not made to be in survival mode every day. It's time to start living. It's time to start enjoying, and the best way to do that is to find gratitude with where you are, because there's always something you can be grateful for, even if you aspire to change your situation. So what I have here in what we're doing to sustaining things is being in touch with ourselves. As I said, the Scorpio energy is very prominent right now. And so we have the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is the card of the Scorpio when it comes to court cards. And so the Queen of Cups says that it's time to really delve into and be in touch with yourselves. I don't think that I've stressed this enough over the past year or so, but being in touch with yourself, your truth, who you are, what success means to you, what relationships mean to you, being in touch with the things that are your personal truth is absolutely imperative right now. It's absolutely imperative. And so the Queen of Cups comes to say that the way we're going to sustain this is to know our truth, to be within ourselves, to get in touch with our emotions more than anything else. What feels good, what feels right. We can talk ourselves in and out of anything when it comes to the logical mind. However, with the Queen of Cups coming up, it says that this is definitely a time to be in touch with yourself, with your spirit, with your emotions, what feels good. And the best thing about it is, like, you tap into what feels good, you move toward that, and you don't worry about how this is going to make sense or how it's going to play out. Because again, the universe is creative. It's going to bring something to you in a way that you don't even, like, that you can't foresee. And so the Queen of Cups just is to say, like, being in touch with yourself. So spend some time alone, spend some time creating, spend some time in nature, spend some time, a lot more time asking yourself questions and allowing yourself to process, rather than going to your distractions, the TV, the internet, like, your friends, like, there are times and places for these things. However, this is definitely a time for introspection, and this is definitely a time to be grounded in your soul's truth. Especially with all the deception going on in the world right now, it's important to have yourself as your sustaining point. And we do see a lot of independence here. So this isn't a very social placement, y'all, when it comes to this, what's going on in the stars right now. It's not a very social placement in the fact that we are being asked to rely on ourselves. This doesn't mean that we can't get help from others, but this does mean that we're being asked to tap into our own infinite resources, to trust ourselves, to trust the universe, and to stay open to other people and things showing up with opportunities for us. So this is a very big placement on self, on, like, tapping deeper into the self as well. And so what do I have as far as the advice card goes? The Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is all about sacrifice. It's about voluntary sacrifice, though. And so whereas we get cards like the Tower or the Death card, where it's kind of like, a slap in the face and you kind of like getting kicked right, like, getting kicked right onto the path. The Hanged Man gives us the opportunity to decide what belongs in our life, what can come along, and what's keeping us from experiencing the deepest parts of ourselves, our divinity, what's keeping us from experiencing our healing, what's perpetuating this, what things are we afraid of letting go of because they become such a comfort in our life but aren't helping us grow and move forward. So advice wise, the Hanged Man comes up to say, understand that the power lies in your hands to release these things. Understand that the power lies within you to tap deeper into your divinity. And it says that, like, the Hanged Man also says that like I said, we don't have to be angry. We don't have to be upset about, like, what's going on. We can just simply make the choice to move forward from something. And yeah, it's going to be scary. It's always scary moving into something new. It's always difficult. But stepping into that fear is what's going to build your strength. The fear is like your spiritual, emotional weights, and so when you step into it, you're basically like bench pressing, and then, like, you get to level up the next time around. And so with the Hanged Man coming up, this says to just kind of look around your life, evaluate, and just look at what things are trying to fall off. What things are you hanging on to? And again, when this comes up, it says when you are hesitant about it, ask yourself, is staying in this form for someone else or something else that's not moving with you or choosing to grow worth you sacrificing the gifts and abundance and, like, the relationships that you're supposed to build in the future? And not only that, is it worth you staying in your lower form and never stepping into being of service the way that you're supposed to be in this world? Is it really worth it? Are those things, are people going to do that for you? And even if so, like, maybe evaluate why that's a thing. And so the Hanged Man comes up to say to observe those things and to let go. So the last thing I'm going to do is read one from the Native Heart Oracle as well, to tie everything together and to give us a little bit more advice and a more well-rounded, like, understanding and, like, summary of what's going on. So Native Heart Oracle, what do we want from you today? Oh, all right, I guess it's this one. So we got the sacral chakra, how we create in the world. Card number 40. I will read this to you. Let's see. So, sacral chakra, courageous living, determination, create from passion. Fear not, your eternal flames of passion burn within your sacred fire of life. This card brings you the awakened energy of the sacral chakra. This mandala is aligned with your passion for life and your passion within relationships, including the one you have with yourself. The key here is to have an absolute unwavering faith in yourself. Trust the beautiful being that you are and know what is important to you. Be reminded that you, your ideas, your creativity, and your passions matter. Start believing in all that you have asked of yourself in this lifetime. Remember the bigger picture that you chose to play a part in. Have faith that you are safe to express your passions without the shame or guilt of the illusions of times past. Embracing the very fire within that lights your individuality. What are you waiting for? Kiss and hug the people you love and the people that you don't. Love without reservation, if not others, then yourself. And create, create, create. There's no time like the present. Just be sure to take your heart along the way. All right, soul fam, so there you have it. This new moon is all about like bringing into the physical world, sustaining, tapping into the self, treating yourself well, getting into a place where you are enjoying the physical aspects of life, where the energy that you freed up with the shadow work and the other energy is being put into things in the physical realm, is being put into like how you want to be of service here. Also, it is all about like, you know, trusting the self, letting go of control and allowing things to show up, tapping into your spiritual, your emotional energies and really knowing yourself deep within so that you can start to open yourself up to the opportunities that are trying to show up for you in the physical world. It is a time for miracles. It is a time for the unexpected. It is a time for things to show up in ways that you could have never ever guessed before. It could be the time for new beginnings in physical relationships as well, or just superficial relationships that may bloom into something else deeper. This is definitely a time to be in line with yourself, to know who you are, and to, again, not change the mind with the mind, but change the mind with the heart and be accepting of where you are right now. This is a time to practice gratitude. This is a time to open yourself up to understanding that if you know that you have enough, you'll always have enough. And that, even though it seems counterintuitive, is what's going to open you up to the abundance of not just the financial and physical aspect of the world, but just of people, of connections, of things, and all of that stuff. All right. Well, I thank y'all so much for tuning in today. I really hope that this new moon treats y'all really, really special. I hope that this retrograde really births versions of yourself that you never knew. And I hope that you guys learn to breathe through the birth of your new self. I would like for you all, if you guys would like to, you can follow me on Instagram at Mira D Tarot. Also, I'm not currently doing individual readings at the moment. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out and email, anything like that. But as far as everything else goes, I thank y'all all for tuning in. And until next time, I'll see y'all. Peace.